Cosmakers, crafters, and editors of the beginner variety. Welcome to Eternal Rookie Craft, your first stop to learn crafting and editing technique. Today we are crafting Black Panther's Spear of Bashenga, and I want to start with a materials list. This should be just about everything I use to craft it and then paint it. In this video I also included measurements as I'm going. They'll pop up on the screen. But this is actually a freestyle drawing. What I'm doing is I'm looking at a picture from someone's Instructable. So if you actually Google how to make Black Panther's mask, there's someone who has an Instructable. They also include the spear that they made. I don't think they had any measurements, so I kind of just eyeballed it, and I used my mat so that I can start on either end with the same kind of coordinates on the mat. And by starting on the same coordinates as you're drawing, it kind of gives it like this pseudo symmetry, and it came out pretty well, since you have to end up bending it anyway to give it that 3D look. Here I'm just trying to get a round, just a rounded edge, so I'm looking for anything that may actually round those out evenly, just enough that I can start to cut out the shape of the spear, the head of the spear. Next, I'm aiming to make the point of the spear before I carve out any shapes. That's why I'm looking for 6 inches down the side of it, and then it'll curve up to the center of the flat end. And I'll do that for both sides. Now you'll have rounded on one end of the long side, and then you'll have pointed at the other end of the long side of this piece of EVA foam. Remember, I'm not worried about symmetry too much, but at the end, the more symmetrical it looks, the more professional it looks. So if you're trying to, if you're just starting out like me, then this is fine. But if you're really trying to make something beautiful, then I could post my template. You can go from there and start filling out measurements, and then you can actually kind of true it up and make it more symmetrical. Here you can see that even the shapes here, I'm just drawing freehand. You can see my laptop down in the bottom left corner. I'm literally looking at a picture of what the spear looks like, and then I'm just freehanding some shapes. Now right about here I kind of realized if I just draw it on both sides, the symmetry is going to be just terrible. So I decided to fold it and then put masking tape on top of it, and in the end I ended up putting paint, tracing it with paint. That way I can just fold it onto itself and it'll give myself the shape. It kind of gives me the mirror reflection I need, and that makes it look more symmetrical without having to freehand the other side. Yeah, I'm definitely learning as I go. As you can see, I tried here to use marker and then fold it over. It didn't really print the other side. Then I went back and I used paint over the etchings. Then once I folded that over, I was able to get a reflection. And then I can go ahead and cut that out and then take off the masking tape. There we go. I got it to reflect over. Now I'm kind of just tracing over the etchings. There's a better look right there. And next I can just cut those shapes out and I'll have the head of my sphere. From this wider angle, you can now see the script I'm looking at. I didn't go to make it look exactly like that because I just didn't need that much detail since I'm doing the Marvel Rivals version. And it'll just be pretty much a purple spear, not the black and gold or anything like that. Next, to give it more of a good thickness and a more rounded out shape, I have to do this again. Also, it would be nice to have a template, so I kind of traced it out. At first I cut out the shape, then I was able to actually trace it. And once I did that, I was able to keep duplicating those shapes, and I ended up making a full-on template so that I can just repeat the sphere as many times as I wanted. And I wanted to be able to dual wield this sphere. Thought that'd be pretty cool. So I did end up making two using my 10-foot PVC, cut it into 5-foot pieces. I just made two spheres. As you can see, at least the creation or the drawing portion of this was much smoother, much quicker. And this one actually comes out fairly symmetrical, and it looks a lot like an identical shape of the other one. So that's good. Now that we're gonna try to put these together in the end. I actually ended up making 4 of these shapes. I repeated this on display board, a foam display board, just because I wanted to see which one kind of felt more sturdy. But in the end, I ended up using one side as this PVA foam and the other side as a display board, and I put it on top of the PVC pipe, and you'll see that in the next cut. Here we have, you can see one side of it is actually white and one side of it is already black. That's because one side is display board and the other side is foam. Same shape, so I ended up making that same spear shape at the top 4 times. We are using plastic dip here, so you have to be in a ventilated area. You have to always wear your mask, always wear your glasses. You should be wearing a shirt and long sleeves as well as the gloves. there's no excuse. I was in a rush, but as you can see, I'm just not wearing a shirt here. But I was very careful not to get it on me. Thought this angle here from a nearby camera just caught me kind of in the wild. It was pretty funny, so I threw that in. And of course, while I have you, if any of this was helpful, please subscribe. I'll be doing the boots next, or maybe I'll just jump right into all the bones for the necklace, the boots, and the claws. And lastly, I painted it with gesso, which made it white, and it made it perfect for acrylic paint. And I used this foam brush here to paint it purple afterward, and I just did one layer of gesso, and then I did 2 layers of this purple paint. Thanks for watching.